We have an intraday update on AMC stock for all of you beautiful individuals. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. You know the deal. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Now, contrary to popular belief as of recently, especially after AMC's earnings call, AMC looks to be in still a very bullish position. You are still above this line, this downtrending resistance line, in which has really been the resistance level of key focus over the last 2 years. You're still above that. You're not under that yet. AMC still looks bullish, technically speaking, based off of that alone, but there's also a lot of other factors that could and most likely will make AMC stock go higher over the next couple of weeks. So the work is cut out for us here in this video. This is the intraday update that you have been waiting for. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, like I said. Now, first things first, AMC stock down about 6.39% at the time of recording this video, sitting at $6.15 per share. And on a technical basis, like I said, I just called out this line for you. You're still above that. And from my perspective right here, every day the AMC stays above this line goes down more. So as of right now, AMC would have to be roughly about $5.30 per share to be under this line. If you go under this line, that's going to be negative. That's going to be really the one thing where I'm going to have to say, hey, maybe we're not going to go higher. Maybe this bullishness has been futile and is ending, at least in the short term. That has not happened yet, and it's going to take a really, really bad day, like a 15 to 20% down move to get us to that line. Maybe not quite that, yeah, about 5:30, you're at 6:14. That's like a 20% move down to get to that line after we've already dropped 6%, then dropped 8%, and now dropping another 6.5%. The sell-off looks like it is starting to get overdone. Now, why is it starting to get overdone? Well, this March 14th vote, really that's the thing that dominated earnings. AMC actually beat on earnings. Yes, they did lose money, and yes, they could have had better numbers, but it was still an overall beat. The focus is really March 14th, and Adam Aaron did not give any hints to backing off from that vote based off of the litigation concerns that AMC is getting, aka AMC having to go to court over this March 14th vote. It still looks like the vote is going to happen. Now, even though the vote is going to happen does not mean anything will happen, because the courts said, yeah, you guys can do this vote, you can get a yes or no answer, but we're still gonna have you meet April 27th, so you can't really do anything until at least that day. So long story short, expect a lot of volatility at least until April 27th. On one hand, if the vote comes around March 14th and it is a no, well, that's going to be more set in stone. It's not going to happen. If the vote comes in as a yes, the markets are still going to look at that like, yeah, it's probably going to happen, but there is a chance that it does not pass through the court system, in which it would ultimately not happen. So keep that in mind. Expect a lot of volatility back and forth until April 27th. With all of that being said, if we take a look at the live short interest of free float, that is sitting at 25.29%. The amount of shares currently sold short sits at 130.44 million. If we take a look at Interactive Brokers short availability, you have about 1 million shares currently available to be lent out, to bullshit with, who cares? 1 million shares available. Cost of borrow rate 167.5%. Cost of borrow average 247.5%. Cost of borrow max 335.5%, and cost of borrow minimum, get this, a negative 1.13%. These numbers are still out of this world. Extreme short interest, where as like statistically speaking, over 20% or around 20% is extreme, can lead to a short squeeze. You're over 5 times that. You're 7, 8 times that as far as the Interactive Brokers is concerned. And that's more like set in stone. This is what the number is. So in those regards, to put that into context, that is very high and can lead to a lot of volatility nonetheless. Again, that's going to be the word of the next 2 months is volatility, but also lead to the infamous short squeeze. Now, if we look at the option activity, no surprise here, 70 orders totaling $23.5 million, positive order value of 4%. If we do go ahead and take a look at the failure to delivers now within AMC, we talked about this in the last video, and I think it's important to pay attention to these numbers because it can drive the stock to move, definitely to the upside. More so than not, especially as you do get this volatility. These days with high FTD numbers can lead to an even bigger move. Now for today, you are seeing about 2.9 million FTDs coming due. For tomorrow, which is going to be Friday, you have about another 2.9 million FTDs that also come due. Next Monday, you have 6.8 million. Next Tuesday, 5.2 million. Next Wednesday, 3.5 million. Next Thursday, 3.6 million. And next Friday, you are going to have 1.5 million FTDs that do also come due. So you do have a lot of FTDs that will have to be bought back over the next couple of weeks, really, and this is probably going to update in the next couple of days, and you're probably going to get another big week after that. AMC is still on the threshold securities list because of this, and keep in mind this arbitrage trade that hedge funds have been employing with shorting AMC, buying APE. I think that's where a lot of these FTDs are ultimately coming from, guys. So there you have that. If we take a look at the Stock Tracker data for the rest of this week, as you guys do know, Thursdays and Fridays can give you pretty big rallies to the upside because you don't have a lot of time left on those Friday options. So if you do get those options that run into the money, they basically instantly have to be hedged by the market makers. And if we take a look at the call side for this Friday, have about 17,500 calls in the money, 211,000 calls out of the money. That big option expiration is going to be March 17th, where you do have 652,500 calls out of the money, 66,500 calls in the money, 901,000 puts out of the money, and 276,000 puts that are currently in the money. So you're setting up for massive volatility week coming March 17th. Honestly, I can't wait for that week because it's gonna be insane. There's gonna be big moves in both directions, at least in my personal opinion. Now, if we take a look at the earnings for today and after hours, you have Costco, C3 AI, ChargePoint, Marvel, Zscaler, Broadcom, Nordstrom, Hewlett Packard Enterprise, Dell, and Victoria's Secret. Dell, ChargePoint, Costco, C3 AI, they're going to affect their own industries, right? Dell, you obviously want to think of semiconductors or computer companies, right? HP, going to be highly affected by Dell earnings. Think about something like ChargePoint, right? Obvious there. Costco, same thing. Retailers, which granted could move, these companies and these sectors, which could affect the markets as well. It's not like it's going to be a huge day for earnings, but watch those sector movers and what these companies do to their own sectors, or competitors might be a better way. So look at it. Now, just another quick look at the technical breakdown. Just to be 100% clear, I don't think AMC goes into a bearish technical pattern until you break under this line, which would be roughly a 20% drop from here. Considering the last 3 red days that we got, it looks like you are due for a bounce, and I think that bounce could be very aggressive as the short interest is so high. If we take a look at the RSI, that is at 52.84, so you have basically muted this rally as far as momentum is concerned. The RSI stands for Relative Strength Index, and it's at a neutral level. 50 is neutral. You are at 52.84, so essentially at that neutral level. The MACD was pretty bullish, not as bullish as obviously what we've seen in the past, but it was in bullish territory, right? This yellow line was above the blue line, and you were above this neutral level right here where my cursor is. You're starting to curl back down. As long as you do not fall under this neutral line, then you're going to be in bullish territory, guys. That is going to be all for this video. Looks like the young one needs herself a little nap, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.